Good afternoon. This is Sue with MageeNews.com. We have something very special going on at First Baptist Church beginning in January, and we are here to invite you. I don't know if you're familiar with GriefShare, but it is a coming together of people who are dealing with a lot of grief. I know this is something many of you are experiencing or have experienced because it doesn't matter how long it is. But I wanted these ladies and gentlemen to tell y'all a little bit about it. And I'm going to start with Jennifer Ashley.
Hey, I'm Jennifer Ashley, and I have been a social worker with hospice for 20 years. Back earlier last year, I just felt like God was calling me to start GriefShare back up at our church, First Baptist. And I didn't know what that looked like. My prayer was that God showed me who you want me to partner with. And throughout prayer, I had several couples come to mind, Donna and Eddie Mahaffey, as well as Wayne and Shirley Harrington. And so I went to them and talked with them, shared how I felt like it was time for us to begin this ministry back up at our church. And I just kept coming back to Esther 14:14 that says, for such a time as this, which I feel like is God's divine provision. Working in grief, death and loss on a daily basis, I've always felt like my job was my ministry and my calling. And with that, I've often wondered, should I be doing more in ministry? God, where would you have me serve? And I just felt a sense of peace and super excited about the opportunity to invite the community and surrounding areas. Anybody that's dealing with grief, loss. Grief can be so messy at times. It follows no certain timeline. Even if you just recently lost someone or you've been in grief for years, there's hope, and we want to provide that safe place to give you the tools and equip you.
You know, people do need to know there is hope.
Yes.
I think so many people feel like there is none. There is none, but there is. Not easy. All right, Donna, you and Eddie both give us a little bit about your knowledge from it.
Okay. Well, I'm an RN. I'm in the health field also, and I have to professionally dealt with people, going through grief and loss. I personally, just like anybody else, have experienced loss. Lost a son at 2, parents, of course, and recently, well, not really recently, but my latest loss was my husband in 2014. And that's what brought me to GriefShare. And it's a wonderful program. It's biblically based. It gives you scripture and spiritual foundation. It helps you through the steps. It covers everything from fear to anger. We have, I can remember just getting out in a storage building just because, just anger and just throwing stuff away. And it helps you through all that. And people do get help through professional counseling, and that's good, but the benefit has been proven that a group support has been more complete healing from that, as it does with professional counseling too. That's awesome, and it's bright. But I can't remember. It's a 11 or a 13-week program or set lessons. It's a support group led, and I can remember going through and helping lead several times in the GriefShare program. But the first time I went through it, I just got up one day and I said, I'm like, peace, hope. And I can't tell you the lesson. I can't tell you what brought it on, but God ministers through those sessions and lessons and the group people sharing. And you're not alone. And one of the lessons in the GriefShare book is hope. and it covers that. And holidays, and it's a wonderful program. I'm here helping facilitate it with Ashley and Eddie, and I'm looking forward to meeting people and helping them through this process.
You know, Eddie, I often think people think it's for women only. Tell me a little bit about that, and what gave you that push to go?
It's not just for women only, it's very much for men too. In 2014, I lost my wife and struggled with grief. I just didn't think I was gonna make it. And then I encountered the GriefShare program, and it, I guess, was a avenue to find fellowship with other similar people going through grief, and really, unless you've lost someone close to you like that, it's hard to understand. I used to think I could understand what somebody was going through, but you can't till you walk that road yourself. And you are in a group with other people walking that road. And I haven't said that it's not just for men or women that have lost spouses. It could be any relationship, a mother, father, son, daughter, a good friend. It's just that you're wrestling with grief. One thing that I like really drew my attention to it is biblically based. I've had friends, known people through the years that have suffered a loss of someone very close to them, and you see responses. You see some people press toward God, and then you see others become bitter and angry at God, which is all part of it, normal steps. But it does help you, helps with that anger and bitterness and loneliness, and just a good Christian Bible-based way to deal with grief.
And I found it not to be judgmental either. You know, like saying, if I was mad, I didn't get mad for a while. When I did get mad, I was mad. But then I felt guilty. See, because I'm not supposed to do that, I'm not supposed to do that. And through GriefShare and other avenues, I realized it's okay. It's okay, it's part of the steps, and that they're just out there to give us. When are we gonna meet? Do we know yet for sure?
We will meet at the parlor, the Family Life Center. There will be people greeting at the door, so if you're not familiar, they will show you where to go.
Any time, do we know our time yet?
It will be from 3 to 5.
Let me add just one other thing for men. A lot of men, internalize. And this is not some place where you have to speak, that you have to share and show your emotions. You can just sit if you want to sit and listen.
That's true.
Can I add something too? There's different kinds of losses, not just death. Divorce. We've had people, I've had some people through some classes and sessions that have gone through divorce, and that's a loss. That's almost like a death, if not worse. And so it benefits any kind of loss, not just a death loss.
When I was at one of those, they were going down the list, kind of telling people what was wrong, what their problem was, and what they were so sad about. And this one lady, y'all, she just sat there, and she would just wouldn't say anything about it. She said, "I'm embarrassed," but she said, "I'm here because of my dog." And I thought, honey, I'm sure, her husband had died, this one had died, that one, and she was by herself with that dog. So you're right, Eddie, it's not any particular spot with it at all.
No.
It is.
One of the things I would also like to add is, in grief, sometimes people just need you to sit with them and listen. 99% of what I do day in and day out is listening. And I've learned over the years that people need you to listen sometimes more than they need you to talk.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to be said in silence, in those periods of silence.
And this gives you a sense that you're not alone. There are other people that experience the same things that you're experiencing.
And that is a great point, both of those, because listening is what so many people need, and people
Exactly.
won't let you, they don't wanna hear it. You feel like they don't wanna hear it, so many of them, and so that's a good point, that it's there that you can share it.
I just feel so often that we always wanna have the right things to say to people when that loss comes, and sometimes just letting them know that you're there is all that they need.
That's right.
Like we think we're gonna have the magic answer.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that was difficult for me, is I kept looking for the magic answer. I just thought, well, this is gonna do it, I'm gonna be okay, this is gonna do it, and it's a years of searching and looking and deciding, my thing is that you have to decide.
And leaning on God.
And leaning on God, I'm telling you what, I'm actually straight, not me in the head every time, but so very true. But it is GriefShare, and it's gonna be at First Baptist Church, and it begins on January the 18th, so that's not too Sundays.
It's one.
Isn't that Sunday?
Sunday.
That seems impossible. The whole month, they're looking there, January the 18th. And it will begin at 3, and it goes from 3 to 5. And as Jennifer said, it's going to be across the street at the Family Life Center building, be upstairs in the parlor, but there will be people out there to meet you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact any of us. You can contact me, and I can get you in contact with them anyway, because it's going to be hard to come. It's not easy to come that first time, but I really do feel that it's something that can help. It can help.
Absolutely.
Until at the church office, you can get anything, any other information you need. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? I think so. I tell you what, I hope we'll see you. I hope you'll encourage others that that are suffering to come and be a part of this group. Have a good day.